So what we had discussed earlier was set new handler, and let's take the discussion further and understand very important concept which is available. So what we plan to discuss today is a concept of shallow copy and deep copy is what we plan to discuss. In the process, it would also take us to a few more important concepts over here, and namely understanding copy constructor, override equal to operator function, and so on. So let's understand what this concept of shallow copy is all about, and why do we need to be aware of this particular concept. And remember also, while a lot of times inside the code you must have seen me declaring destructor, and I have been writing that destructor as virtual. So today we plan to understand the reason for all those things. Why exactly we define that destructor as virtual? What if I do not declare destructor as virtual? So let's understand all those concepts. So let's begin our discussion with this concept called as shallow copy. Say, I'll directly start with an example, and with that example, I'll help you to understand this concept of shallow copy. Say we have defined a pointer. So P is a pointer to an integer. So it's a pointer to an integer. And so it is now pointing to an integer variable. So I say P equal to new int. The moment I say P equal to new int, P will be on the stack, and this integer variable will get created on the heap. And so this P will be pointing to an object which is stored on the heap, or an integer variable which will be stored on the heap. Very simple. Okay, so diagrammatically it will look something like this. So we have a pointer P, which is pointing to an object which has been stored somewhere in the memory. So it is pointing to an object or a variable which has been stored somewhere in the memory. So the first statement over here declares a pointer which can point to a variable of type integer, and second statement allocates the memory to which this particular pointer variable is pointing to. And how much memory is allocated? Just enough to accommodate an integer variable. That much memory has now been allocated. Say if I say star P equal to 87, now this is a pointer P. I'm saying star P. When I say star P means value at that address. So pointer is currently storing address of this particular integer. So when I say star P, so value at that particular variable, that integer variable, that will get changed. So value of that particular variable now becomes 87. The moment I say star P equal to 87, this P is a pointer pointing to this particular variable. So star P means value at that particular location. Earlier there may be some garbage value. Now what has been stored at that particular location is value as 87. Simple and straightforward. We have discussed this thing earlier. Now, we will not be creating a simple variable. We rather go out creating an array now. So we have defined two pointers. One is first, another is second. Both of them are pointed to integers. Watch it very carefully. And I say first equal to new int of 10. Now, when I say first equal to new int 10, this first pointer will now point to array of 10 integer variables. Okay. And here, this first we created two pointers, and first equal to new int of 10. So this pointer variable first is now pointing to group of 10 variables of type integer. And since we are using operator new, it actually creates array of integers, each of size 4 bytes or whatever is the machine architecture wise, whatever size of integer. And it is pointing to the base address. That means the first integer inside that particular array. So there is where it is pointing to. That means it is storing address of the first integer variable and so on. So such an array has now been created. Now, if I write a statement, suppose I store some values into it. Suppose we write a loop and we store some value into that particular array, and I write a statement first equal to second. Now, moment I say first equal to second, what's going to happen over here? What we are expecting is the first array should get copied into the second array. But since these are pointers and they themselves are variables, what will actually happen is the address that was stored in first, the same address will get stored into second. That means both these pointers will end up pointing to the same location in the memory. So both these pointers are claiming ownership of this particular array now. So we have two different pointers pointing to the same block of memory. And here is where ownership issue comes into action. So when I say ownership issue, that means first says this is my array and second says this is my array. But what's the risk of having such a thing? Say tomorrow you say delete second. Now I say delete square bracket second. Now moment you say delete square bracket second, what's going to happen over here now? So the pointer second, which was pointing to that particular array, that entire array will now get destroyed. So the first and second, both will not be pointing anywhere. Both of them will become dangling pointer. And reason for that is first is also pointing to the same location and second is also pointing to the same location. Now if I say delete second, both of them becomes dangling pointer, because both of them will be pointing to the same location. Second destroyed that particular array, but first has also got affected. So because first and second point to the same array statement, delete second executes, first becomes invalid. That is the first as the second, both of them become dangling pointers. There is where we come across a problem. And in case if it so happens that you are under impression कि आपने सिर्फ second को ही delete किया है, and then you say you proceed the program using this particular pointer variable called as first, you're going to face a problem, because second and first both are pointing to the same location, and first will be a dangling pointer, and using this dangling pointer you want to access some data, you're definitely going to face a problem. So this is what is shallow copy. In shallow copy, what we do is instead of copying the data, what we ended up copying was the pointer. Shallow copy, two or more pointers of the same type points to the same location. That is, they point to the same data. That means both the pointers are pointing to the same location really. So shallow copy of an object copies all the members of the field, member-wise copy. So we'll first see this particular problem, and then I'll go ahead with the solution to this particular problem. So let's take an example to understand this particular problem or the severity of this particular problem. Watch it now. We have a pointer variable first, and we have another pointer variable called as second. So both of them are pointed to integer. Both of them are pointed to integer. I have written a function called a display array. I have also written a function called as update array. And in both these functions, I'm going to pass the pointer to an array. That means base address of an array. And in display array, I'm going to pass how many elements are there inside that array. Whereas in update array, I'm going to pass that pointer to array. What is the size of the array? And by what factor I would like to change the contents of the array. That is what I plan to do. So I have this pointer first and pointer second. I have taken two variables of type size underscore t. So there are two additional variables that I have taken. I ask the user to enter the size of an array. User enters say size. Say let's assume user enters size as 5. Okay. Now moment I say 5, here I have written a statement saying new int of size. The moment I say new int of size, I'm saying new int of 5. That means, excuse me, I'm saying new int of 5. The moment I say new int of 5, this first pointer will now point to an array of 5 integers. And let's assume our allocation is not going to fail. And obviously for such a small allocation, it will not fail. So I have not taken all those precautions like exception handling or something. I have not done right now. Neither I have set the handler, because we are just focusing on understanding this simple concept first. And then later you could make your program more safe. So I say new int of size. Moment I say new int of size, this array has got created, and the first is a pointer which is now pointing to a group of 5 integers. So it is now pointing to a group of 5 integers. That's an array of integer base address. So I say idx equal to 0, idx less than size plus idx. And remember this, pointer plus 0, then pointer plus 1, and whole thing bracket star. That means at all those locations, I change the value. That means first place I store value as 10, next place I store value 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's what I store. And then I print all those elements. For that, I give a call to function display array. I pass the pointer as well as I pass the size. So I pass the pointer and the star of ID, ARR plus IDX करते हुए I print the contents of that particular array. Now, after I have printed this particular contents of the array, I'm going to do something more. So I have printed the contents of the array. Then I say second is equal to first. The moment I do this, the moment I say second is equal to first, so what's going to happen? The address that was stored in this particular pointer variable first, the same address will get stored into second. That means both these pointers will now end up pointing to the same location memory, and this is what shallow copy is all about. So we have multiple pointers pointing to the same block of memory. So we have these two pointers which are now pointing to the same block of memory. I print the second. Suppose if I give a call to function display array and I say second array print karo, it will print the same data what was there earlier. So a lot of times we get confused, because when we display the array, we get to see the contents, and people, we at times make an assumption, we misinterpret as if it's a new array that has been created. No new array has been created. Actually, both the pointers have ended up pointing to the same location memory. Say now I say update array. I pass the second array. I say what is the size, whatever is the size of the array, 5 in our case, and I would like to update that particular array with value as 10. So when I come to that array, I say the value at that location plus 10. So if it was earlier 10, now it becomes 20, 21, 22 kind of thing. So we update all elements inside that particular second array. After updating those elements inside the second array, if I display second array, that updated values will get displayed. But if I also display say first array, here also the updated value will get printed, because actually first and second both are pointing to the same location memory. And the problem occurs not just over here. Now this is ownership issue. Since both these pointers claim the ownership of this particular array, any pointer make the changes to that array, it looks like it will also affect the second pointer, because both the pointers are pointing to the same location in the memory. The more severe problem can come across when I say delete second. And you are a good programmer. You have that thing in your mind. Whenever we delete a pointer, means release a memory by using delete operator, you will not have dangling pointer. So second equal null, you have said. You said second equal null, that's okay. You have handled this particular pointer. But now in that particular case, our first pointer is still a dangling pointer. After this, if I say fetch the value using first pointer, there is always a chance that the things can go wrong, because second has become null, but first is still dangling, because first is still pointing to the same location memory. Let's run the program till here, or let's do something more. So I have one more pointer called as pointer to a character. and that points to a new character array. Let's say new character array of which is of size 10, and I store 10 characters inside it. CH++, A++ becomes B, B++ becomes C kind of thing. So character variable, I store that, and I delete that particular pointer as well. You may be wondering, why did I take this character array? Because since we have deleted this particular block of memory which was pointed to by second, there is very much a possibility that next time when we allocate memory, the same address where the previous array was created, the new array may also get created at the same location. And now what will happen is, since we are storing characters, the data will get changed. What data we had 10, 20, 30, or 21, 30, 20, 31, 21, 22, 23, what we had stored, that will possibly get replaced by these characters. Now, if I print first is dangling pointer, second में तो null है. First is dangling pointer, second में तो null है. And if I print star first, element in the first location, I may get some unexpected value, because first location there is this A, B, C, D, 4 characters have been stored. And then here if I say display the first array, again we are going to get a problem. And if I say delete first, that's a much bigger problem. The system can crash because you are releasing a block of memory which has already been released. So this is the kind of problems that we'll actually come across. So let's trace this particular code and see what happens. I only pray that, like last time, the system does not crash such a way that I have to restart my machine. So let's hope that kind of crashing doesn't happen. According to me, it's only the ID that should have got crashed even last time. And I'm just wondering, why was it like the entire application system was getting crashed? I couldn't figure it out. Here we go. So we ask user enter the size of the array. User enters, assume kare, user enters size of the array as 5. Watch it very carefully and try and understand. So we say, and first currently is having some garbage value, OX8000, some garbage value. Now when I say new int of size, now first starts pointing to some location vary, and at that location that array has now been created. 5 integers array has been created. 5 integers means 20 bytes of memory has now been allocated. Now in each of that element we go storing some kind of data. Currently, since that first pointer is, although it is pointing to that particular location, the value at that location is some garbage. Luckily it is 0, it is garbage value. Now we say first plus idx. Remember, whenever we increment pointers are always incremented by the size of the variable to which they are pointing. So assume kare, first is pointing to an array which is stored at address 400. So when I say first plus 0, that is 400 plus 0, whole thing bracket star means value at address 400. I'm saying idx plus 10. Idx value is 0, 0 plus 10 is 10. But next time when I say idx value becomes 1, when I say first plus 1, that is 400 plus 1 will not become 401. 400 plus 1 will become 404. Those pointers are incremented or decremented by the size of the variable to which they are pointing. I hope you are there with me. So first plus idx is equal to idx plus 10. So we have stored the data into that particular array, and then we print the contents of that particular array. Now once we have we print the address inside that array. Address so wahi tha. Then I give a call to function display and we're going to print. So let's do that. What I'll do is I'll directly jump over here. So I say debug, and I step to that location F4 to run to the cursor, so I do not have to step through every place. So please enter the size of the array, and then we have just run loop and we have stored the data, and then we print the address. So when I print the address, it's like 7BB40. Okay. And then I say give a call to function display. So it has displayed the contents 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All the 5 elements have got displayed. Now I say second is equal to first. Now before I say second equal to first, let's see what's there in second. Now second is having some garbage value. We do not know what this garbage value is. 1824, 8C, 20. It's just some garbage. Okay. Now when I say second equal to first, now both of them will end up pointing to the same location. Watch, the first was pointing to that location, and to the same location second is also pointing. So both these pointers, as the diagram showed, now both these pointers are actually pointing to the same location in the memory. Both the pointers are actually pointing to the same location in the memory. Now what I do is I say display second, and then I pass the array size. So let's go to this display function. Array plus 0 whole thing bracket star, and then array plus 1 whole thing bracket star, array plus 2, mute it please, array plus 2 whole thing bracket star. So we're going to print all elements inside that array. So let's see those contents of that particular array. So here all elements of that array has now been printed. 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14. All elements of that array has now got printed. Now second array has got printed. I give a call to update array. I pass the array for second array, the size of the array, and with what factor I would like to change the contents. So we come over here. I should have shown you this particular function. We saw it. So at every place whatever is the current value 10, 10 plus 10, 11 plus 10. Likewise, I have changed the contents of that array. Now after changing the contents, I still print the address. Address is not going to change. Address will still be the same. So second was pointing here, it's still pointing to the same location. But now if I want to display that array, so when I display this array, let's see what contents have got displayed now. So if I display this particular array, the contents have got changed from 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 to 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. So the contents of the array have now got changed. I display the first array, watch it very carefully. After updation, I now display the first. First is also pointing to the same location. I now give a call to function display array. Now when I give a call to function display array, the content of I updated second array, but contents of the first array also got changed. It is very obvious because both of them have pointed up to the same location. Very shallow copy kiya humne. So we did not copy the array, we actually copied the base address of the array. So both these pointers ended up pointing to the same location. Very. So I say delete second. This is far more critical. Now when I say delete second, it's not just the second array that will get deleted. Both of them, remember this diagram, both of them were pointing to the same location. Second ko delete karo, first ko delete karo. This entire array is going to get deleted. So when I say delete second, and then you are a very good programmer, if you ever use delete operator with a pointer, to avoid dangling pointer, set it to null, you took all the precaution. Now remember where that array was stored. That array was stored at address BB40, suppose. And now we create a character array. And look at that. That's also got stored at the same location. And that normally happens. Look at the 77BB40, 7BB40. It got stored at the same location. And I stored 10 characters inside it now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I stored 10 characters inside that particular array. And I say I delete that array. Now I stored characters and that too have now been deleted. I say PAT equal null, dangling pointer. Whenever you use delete, we are always going to set that particular pointer to value as null. In null or null PTR, I'll come to that null PTR later. But it has been set to value as null. I now display the first. First is still a dangling pointer. Watch it. It's still pointing to the same location. And at that location, neither there is a character array, neither there is an integer array. I print second. Second को तो आपने handle कर लिया है. There is value as null. Null का value is 0. Now, if I say star first, now what's going to happen? Pointer first is pointing to this location, and starting from this location on the first 4 bytes, what stored is A, B, C, D. So you're going to get some weird integer whose value is corresponding to those A, B, C, D combined together kind of value. So some weird answer is going to get. So it's some weird answer we got. So very weird answer is what we got. And beyond that, if I go on to display this array, again something interesting is going to happen. If I display this array, look at that some garbage value, and then last 23, 24 we could see. Why is that? These are the first 10 bytes. And then the next few bytes we could see some values, but then there are so many garbage values that have got printed because the data at that location have got changed. So obviously there is going to be some garbage value that will get printed. And the bigger problem is over here because you are now printing the value at a location where first is pointing to, but we have forgot that first is a dangling pointer now. There is no memory which is being reserved at that location, and that area which is already released, we again make an attempt to release that local block of memory. See what happens. The program has crashed, and this is how it should rather crash rather than crashing the entire application. I told you earlier, releasing a block of memory which has already released may result into crashing of the system. So it has given us a signal saying this is something signal about something has gone wrong, and the program has actually crashed. So program has crashed. No point in setting this null. The program has got crashed here itself because first this block of memory ko point kar raha hai, that block of memory was already released. So these are problems that we come across in shallow copy. Thank you all. So we stop here today and we continue with a further discussion. Next session is again going to be a deep dive into some advanced concepts.